Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be filming the photography book tag, and I wanted to say a huge thank you to Bree for tagging me, and I'll put a link in the description for her video. It's super cute. You should definitely check it out. This tag looked like a lot of fun because I do enjoy photography. I do take some photography of books. If you want to follow my Instagram at _myfictionalworld. I just thought that this would be a fun tag to do. It's really cute and it's really short and sweet, so let's just get right to it. Question number 1 is fast shutter speed. Name a fast-paced book. And for this, I'm gonna go with Her Every Fear by Peter Swanson. This is an adult thriller, and I know some people don't like it. I don't really know why, but I personally got so freaking hooked onto this story, and I finished in 2 sittings, but I really wanted to finish it in 1 sitting because I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I just flew through this book. I loved it so much. It was so fast-paced, so intense. I just had to know what the heck happened, and it was so I loved it. It was so good. Number 2 is slow shutter speed. Name a slow-paced book. For that, I'm gonna go with A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, but I don't mean that this is slow-paced in like a bad way. You know, this book is like 815 pages, so it feels like it's slower paced, and this story definitely takes its time with the character development, but that doesn't mean it's a bad book. I just mean it's a slow-paced book. Like, it took me a week to read this, but it was one of the best reading experiences I've ever had in my life. I just mean it's a slower paced book, and if that's something you're in the mood for, just to take some time and really get to know these characters, then this book is fucking great. Number 3 is Pretty Picture. Name a book with a pretty cover. For that, I'm gonna go with Autobiography by Christina Lauren, because look at this fucking cover. A giant ass book, right? It's open, it's so beautiful, and then there's 2 little boy drawings holding hands on the top, and then there's like this beautiful ass sunset and all these colors, and just I love this cover. This cover wins at life. So beautiful. Definitely one of my favorite covers I've ever seen in my life. Number 4 is ISO. Name a book that brightens up your day. For that, I'm gonna go with Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han. This is the 3rd book in the Laura Jean trilogy, and I know that these books are YA contemporary cheeseball romance, but I fucking love them, okay? I just love Laura Jean. I love her family. It just made me feel very like nostalgic for like the happier times when I was in high school, because like high school wasn't so great for me, but it just reminded me of like the exciting part about being a senior in high school, and just adore this character and this family, and so I loved this book. It made me so happy. Number 5 is Leading Lines. Name a book that drew you in. And so for that, I'm gonna go with my favorite book of all time, We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Everything about this story just really draws me in anyway, because it's about alien abductions, and it's like a very gorgeous but depressing coming of age story, and like those are my kind of stories, you know, but it's also dealing with alien abductions and astronomy and shit, so like of course it's my favorite book of all time, and of course it drew me in, but also because the very first line in this book just says life is bullshit. That automatically drew me in, and I honestly think that this first chapter in this book is one of the best first chapters I've ever read in a book, and this is definitely one that should and probably will draw you in right away. Number 6 is Wide Aperture. Did I say that right? I don't know. Name a book that opened your eye. And so for this, I'm gonna go with The Secret History by Donna Tartt, because even though I didn't absolutely love this book like a lot of people do, this book definitely opened my eye to reading more literary fiction. I honestly thought I didn't like literary fiction up until I read this book. And because of this book, I decided to pick up this book, and then this book ended up being one of my favorite books of all time. It's all thanks to this book that I'm into more literary fiction now, and I find myself wanting to read more literary fiction now because of this. Number 7 is Unusual / Interesting Focus Point. Name a book that has an unusual plot. So for that, I'm gonna go with Bird Box by Josh Malerman. This book is my most recent read, and it has one of the craziest fucking plots I've ever heard of in my life, and it's so cool. So basically, these people live in this apocalyptic world where you can't go outside because whatever you see outside is going to try to kill you. And all these people are dying around the world, and the only thing that they have in common is that they saw something, but you don't know whether that something was a person or an animal or a monster. You don't know what it is. And so this whole book, the characters have to, like, anytime they go outside, they have to wear blindfolds so that they don't see whatever it is. They live in houses with blankets covering the windows, and like they don't know whatever it is that's outside. It's just crazy. It's such a creepy book. I loved it. And it was like the coolest plot I've ever heard. Like, they don't know what to be afraid of. And that's like the creepiest thing, I think. It's just, oh, so good. Number 8 is narrow depth of field. Name a book with a blurred ending, or not being able to see what's coming next. So for that, I'm gonna go with Unravel by Kalia Reed. This book had one of the craziest fucking endings I've ever read in a book. It was just so fucking mind-blowing, and there were 2 huge plot twists that I didn't see coming that changed the entire course of the story. Last question, large depth of field. Name a book that was predictable. So for that, I'm gonna go with The Cellar by Natasha Preston, because this is a book about these girls getting abducted by this guy. It was a little predictable and just kind of not very great. That was the photography book tag. Whoa, what? For people that I want to tag, let's go with Dylan, my BFF. Anybody else who watches this video, I don't know, I suck at tagging people. If you want to do the photography book tag, then consider yourself tagged by me if you watch this. I never know what to say at the end of tag videos because they're just tags. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. One of the craziest ass plosses. What did I just say? So question number 1 is bleh. If there was any obnoxious sounds during the filming of this video, I 100% blame this little puppy over here. She just keeps stretching and moving around and moaning the whole time, so thank you, Phoenix. Thanks.